Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Bayat, the Dawadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. Okay, so this morning's lesson is going to be on autophagy, which is more to the point, the importance and benefits of fasting. And this is also a part of our way of life, our culture. Okay, this is from the Health Line. So it says here, autophagy is a natural self-preservation mechanism whereby the body removes damaged or dysfunctional parts of a cell and recycles other parts towards cellular repair. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and read a little bit of this article, and then we're going to get into the scriptures. Okay, so autophagy is the body's way of cleaning out damaged cells in order to regenerate newer, healthier cells, according to Priya Khurana, PhD in nutrition education from Columbia University. Auto means self, and phagy means eat, so self-eat. So the literal meaning of autophagy is self-eating. It's also referred to as self-devouring. While that may sound like something you never want to happen to your body, it's actually beneficial to your overall health. This is because autophagy is an evolutionary self-preservation mechanism through which the body can remove the dysfunctional cells and recycle parts of them towards cellular repair and cleaning, according to board-certified cardiologist Dr. Louisa Petri. Petri explains that the purpose of autophagy is to remove debris and self-regulate back to optimal smooth function. It is recycling and cleaning at the same time, just like hitting a reset button to your body. Plus, it promotes survival and adaptation as a response to various stressors and toxins accumulated in our cells. Okay. All right, let me see if this is, it kind of froze on me there. So, go down. Okay, so what are the benefits of autophagy? The main benefits of autophagy seem to come in the form of anti-aging principles. In fact, Petri says it's best known as the body's way of turning the clock back and creating younger cells. So by fasting, it basically keeps you alive longer. It slows down your aging process. Okay. Khurana points out that when our cells are stressed, autophagy is increased in order to protect us, which helps enhance your lifespan. Additionally, registered dietitian Scott Keatley, RD CDN, says that in times of starvation, autophagy keeps the body going by breaking down cellular material and reusing it for necessary processes. Of course, this takes energy and cannot continue forever, but it gives us more time to find nourishment. At the cellular level, Petri says that the benefits of autophagy include removing toxic proteins from the cells that are attributed to neurodegenerative diseases, such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, recycling residual proteins, providing energy and building blocks for cells that could still benefit from repair. On a larger scale, it prompts regeneration in healthy cells. Autophagy is receiving a lot of attention for the role it may play in preventing or treating cancer too. Autophagy declines as we age, so this means cells that no longer work or may do harm are allowed to multiply, which is the MO of cancer cells, explains Keatley. While all cancers start from some sort of defective cells, Petri says that the body should recognize and remove those cells, often using autophagic processes. That's why some researchers are looking at the possibility that autophagy may lower the risk of cancer. While there's no scientific evidence to back this up, Petri says some studies suggest that many cancer cells can be removed through autophagy. This is how the body polices the cancer villains, as she explains, recognizing and destroying what went wrong and triggering the repairing mechanisms does contribute to lowering the risk of cancer. Researchers believe that new studies will lead to insight that will help them target autophagy as a therapy for cancer. So diet changes that can boost autophagy. Remember that autophagy literally means self-eating. So it makes sense that intermittent fasting and ketogenic diets are known to trigger autophagy. Fasting is the most effective way to trigger it. Okay. Ketosis, a diet high in fat and low in carbs, brings the same benefits of fasting without fasting, like a shortcut to induce the same beneficial metabolic changes. By not overwhelming the body with an external load, it gives the body a break to focus on its own health and repair. In the keto diet, you get about 75% of your daily calories from fat and 5 to 10% of your calories from carbs. This shift in calorie sources causes your body to shift its metabolic pathways. It will begin to use fat for fuel instead of glucose that's derived from carbohydrates. So in response to this restriction, your body will begin to start producing ketone bodies that have many protective effects. Corona says studies suggest that ketosis can also cause starvation-induced autophagy, which has neuroprotective functions. Low glucose levels occur in both diets and are linked to low insulin and high glucagon levels, explains Petray. A glucagon level is the one that initiates autophagy. When the body is low on sugar through fasting or ketosis, it brings the positive stress that wakes up the survival repairing mode. One non-diet area that may also play a role in inducing autophagy is exercise. According to one animal study, physical exercise may induce autophagy in organs that are part of metabolic regulation processes. This can include the muscles, liver, pancreas, and adipose tissue. So the bottom line here is autophagy will continue to gain attention as researchers conduct more studies on the impact it has on our health. For now, nutritional and health experts such as Corona point to the fact that there's still much we need to learn about autophagy and how to best encourage it. But if you're interested in trying to stimulate autophagy in your body, she recommends that starting by adding fasting and regular exercise into your routine. However, you need to consult your doctor if you're taking any medications, are pregnant or breastfeeding, or wish to become pregnant, or have a chronic condition such as heart disease or diabetes. Corona cautions that you're not encouraged to fast if you fall into any of the above categories. Okay? So, and fasting is part of our culture. Not only is it for, physical health, as it says right here, fasting or not eating food for an extended period of time is well known as a religious diet practice. Okay, so that's another thing too. Things that contribute to overall health is diet, what you eat, exercise, being active, and exercise also helps boost the immune system. And also rest, okay? Don't overwork yourself. Your body needs time to recuperate and to sleep, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get some scriptures here, but this is fasting is. It's one of the, like I said, it can reduce the risk of cancer. So think on that. Okay? I'm going to start off with let's see. This is going to be the book of Joel. It's going to be chapter 2, verse 12. And it says, "Therefore also now saith the Lord, turn ye even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning." Okay? So, as part of our daily walk and our daily lives, we are to fast, pray, and study, right? This is how we show ourselves approved. Okay? Fasting is not just a a religious diet practice, but it's also a spiritual discipline. Okay? Because um, it's also gonna build up your spirit, and it's gonna overall in a positive way um, improve your thought processes, your mood, all of that. And it says with fasting, weeping, and mourning. Okay, being in the house of mourning. Okay, this is not the time to be in that house of mirth. That merry cheerful spirit right now. We're supposed to be in a state of mourning, because in the times that we're in, this is a time of seriousness. Okay, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai wants us to be more into rehearsing the righteous acts, being more in tune with the Spirit, and practicing the ways of the righteous, His ways. Verse 13, "And rent your heart, and not your garments, and turn to the Lord your power, for He is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repenteth him of evil." Okay? So, rent your heart. Rent means to tear, which means to, just to be more straight to the point, simple on what that is to forget what you know of this world. Okay? Remove all that junk and nonsense from your mind that you've been taught by this world, and turn to the Lord, your power, for all the answers. Okay? That's what we're supposed to do. All right? This is going to be this is Mark chapter 9, verse 17. And it says, "And one of the multitude answered and said, Master, I have brought unto thee my son, which hath a dumb spirit." And that word "dumb" is just another way of it's talking about how he can't really speak. He lacks speech. And verse 18, "And wheresoever he taketh him, he teareth him, and he foameth and gnasheth with his teeth, and pineth away." So this was a really heavy demonic spirit on this man's son. It was making him. It was tormenting him. And it says, "And I spake to thy disciples, that they should cast him out, and they could not." 19, "He answereth him and saith, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him unto me." This was Yahushua speaking. Okay, Yahushua was getting annoyed with the fact that his disciples lacked that level of faith to get rid of this tormenting spirit here. Okay, verse 20, and it says, "And they brought him unto him, and when he saw him, straightway the spirit tear him, and he fell on the ground and wallowed, foaming." Okay, foaming at the mouth, and wallowed, meaning he was having those convulsions. Like his body was jerked, like a spasm. 21, "And he asked his father, How long is it ago since this came unto him? And he said, Of a child," which means he's had this since he was young, as a kid. 22. And oft time it hath cast him into the fire and into the waters to destroy him. But if thou canst do anything, have compassion on us and help us. 23. And Yahushua said unto him, If thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. 24. And straightway the father of the child cried out and said with tears, Lord, I believe, help thou mine unbelief. 25. When Yahushua saw that the people came running together, he rebuked the foul spirit, saying unto him, Thou dumb and deaf spirit, I charge thee, come out of him, and enter no more into him. And the spirit cried, and rent him sore, and came out of him, and he was as one dead, insomuch that many said, He is dead. 27. But Yahushua took him by the hand, and lifted him up, and he arose. 20. And when he was come into the house, his disciples asked him privately, Why could not we cast him out? 29. And he said unto them, This kind can come forth by nothing but by prayer and fasting. So, fasting, like I said before, it builds up your spirit. And it builds up, it strengthens your spirit. And prayer builds up faith. So remember, spiritual power is about faith and spiritual discipline. Okay? So, again, this is fasting is part of developing that spiritual power that you know. All right, now let's see. This is going to be a Tobit. Tobit chapter 12 verse 8. It says, Prayer is good with fasting, and alms and righteousness. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold. Okay, alms is charity, is giving charity to the poor. Okay. And prayer is good with fasting. So when you're fasting, pray. Okay? That's going to build up your spirit, and it's also going to build up your faith. Okay? So a little bit of righteousness is better than much unrighteousness. Okay? Better to give alms, to be charitable, than to lay up gold. To be, selfish and build up your riches, okay? So, all right, now, it's going to be Matthew chapter 4, verse 1. Matthew 4 and 1. And it says, Then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. Verse 2. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. 3. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the Son of Yahweh, command that these stones be made bread. Verse 4, he said, But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the power. Okay? So, man shall not live by bread alone, but by the word. Okay? And, even on the book of Amos, it speaks of a famine that's on the way. Not by bread, but by the word, right? So, there's going to be a lack of that spiritual food, which is this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Yes. And there's also going to be a literal lack of food that your flesh craves. So think deeply on that. You know, if you haven't been practicing fasting and incorporating that into your daily lives, you know, that shows a lack of discipline. And when the time comes when there is an actual literal famine, you're gonna bug out because you're gonna get hungry. Like, damn, I need to eat. I need to eat. Ugh. You're gonna be like the rest of these bug outs out here. Okay? That's why we fast, to build up our spirit, not our flesh, to deny our spirit of those cravings. This is also part of mastering yourself. You know? And fasted 40 days and 40 nights. There, you know, when that famine does come, when all hell breaks loose, man, if you haven't been practicing fasting and you haven't been building up your spirit like this, you know, there may come a time when Yahweh Shem Shai, if you're not a martyr for the truth, and you're just out there in the midst of Jacob's trouble, you know, in the whole Mad Max, doomsday, purge scenario, you know, and there's no food or water around, man. And if you haven't been practicing, you know, fasting, it's going to be hard for you. The Lord may have to where you may go a day or two, maybe 3, and possibly maybe 4 or more days. And that's where faith has to come in. So, you know, pray that the Lord will sustain you. All right, let's see, where was I? Oh, yeah, so I'm going to read Matthew 4:4. Again, it says, "But he answered and said, It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the power." Okay? By every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the power. So, this Bible is the word. So, this word is what's going to keep us alive, not literal food. Okay? All right, next is going to be Isaiah chapter 58. 58 and verse 3. Starting at verse 3, it says, "Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast you find pleasure and exact all your labors." Verse 4, "Behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high." 5, "Is it such a fast that I have chosen, a day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast, an acceptable day to the Lord? 6, "Is this not the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke? 7, "Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house? When thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thine own flesh." Okay? So when you fast, you have to do it you have to fast for the right reasons. Okay? You can't fast you can't fast for your own vain glory or opinion, or for strife. Okay? Fasting is something that's supposed to be between you and Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay? That's why prayer with fasting is involved. I mean, don't get it wrong. I mean, when you're fasting to replenish your body or to get rid of for your health is good, but you know, you could use fasting for, you know, certain spirits may be plaguing you. and you know you want to you want to get rid of them. Okay, you don't fast for personal gain. Okay, this is um, you don't just you know, fasting is something, it's serious. It's not something to, it's like I said, you do it for the spirit, and you also incorporate with prayer for Yahweh Hashem Shai as to why you're doing this and for what reason. Okay, this is to build you up. That you don't just do it out of, you don't just don't you don't just do it just to do it for whatever personal reason. Okay, okay, and a little testimony of mine, as I said, you know, autophagy can be used for, you know, cleansing and, you know, regeneration and restoring energy. Because a few days ago, I fasted for 48 hours, and you know, and it's been a while since I did that, and and you know, during that time, you know, I was feeling a lot better, like I had renewed energy. I was able to do more, focus more, and you know, through that, you know, you gotta you know, it's, you know, like I said, it all comes down to prayer, because prayer with fasting is good. In fact, let me go back to Tobit again. Uh, like I said, the benefits of fasting, it's a spiritual benefit more than a physical. Let's see, where was I? Tobit chapter 12, verse 8. And it says, prayer is good with fasting, and alms and righteousness. A little with righteousness is better than, a little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold. Verse 9, for alms doth deliver from death, and shall purge away all sin. Those that exercise alms and righteousness shall be filled with life. Okay? So, when you build up the spirit, you have to, you know, you have to understand that, let me see, let me go back to Joel. Because this here, Joel chapter 2, verse 13, and it says, and rent your heart and not your garments, and turn to the Lord your power, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger and of great kindness, and repenteth him of evil. Okay? So, here's why I'm going back to this, because you have to remove the worldly stuff from your mind. And you know, fasting is also, can also be seen as like a, not just, it can also be seen as a way of meditation too, because it's also part of that process of removing, you know, separating yourself from this current world that we're in, because we all know what time it is, and we all know what troubles are coming. As the scriptures say, Isaiah 33 and 6, thy wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Okay? And this is, you know, so this is something you should, you know, if you haven't done this, you know, this is something you should practice more often. In fact, now more so than ever, for your own good. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, because this is, like I said, this is all about building up spirit. Okay? And that's what we're looking to build up first and foremost, because if we want to obtain that spiritual power, fasting is part of it, as well as prayer. Okay? I hope that this was a edifying lesson, and like I said, this again was autophagy, which is the benefits and importance of fasting. So I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Bayat, the Damadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad. I give you my utmost and sincere salutation. See you in the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharallah, Shalom, Barakatam.